My personal definition of war is a conflict between, it could be two groups, it could be more than that. So it's about a situation when within a country relationships break down, relations between communities and groups, and war is a consequence of that, where people feel they can't talk anymore and they have to resort to war.
War is hostile armed conflict between nations over an extended period of time. The First World War and the Second World War are examples of total war, where the war impacts not just people on the front line, but the people in the societies who are involved. First World War also unique as the first time really ever where the ability to cause harm and cause fatality far outweighs the ability to defend yourself against it.
Remembrance Day to me is remembering the people that died during World War I and World War II.
About respecting all the soldiers and people that died in the war.
Remembering everyone who fought for us and has fought for us.
Stratton Upper School is a Holocaust speaking education school, and with that, because I think it's so important, students learn about the Holocaust. So we spend a lot of time learning about the Holocaust because it teaches us about the fundamental bits of being human. It shows us that any ordinary human can be moved to do both the most atrocious things. In the same setting, they can be moved to do the most amazing things. People like Irena Sendler, who was willing to risk her life to save children, Jewish children, from the Warsaw Ghetto. And that's why I think that it's really important that students learn about the Holocaust and they learn about the war and things like that, because these are fundamental parts of being human.
The education of war is so important. I'm hoping that the more people learn about war, the more that we can learn how to avoid it again in the future. Teaching the personal impacts of the war is particularly important. And when you're talking about personal impacts, you can see what happened to individuals, what happened to their families, what were their experiences of the war.
War being very pertinent to the whole of humanity, to human nature, to human life. So part of, I think, what we try to do with English is bringing the past into the present and trying to make sense of the past through the lens of the present. Teaching English, we hope, gives students the skills and the capacity to place what's happening now in a framework that's much wider than just our own lives. That it kind of impacts every facet of society, arguably.
I think young and old, rich and poor is something you can't escape if it's part of your life at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's not, it's still something that's reported in the media daily. It's something that would be a household topic.
Yeah.
It's a big part of learning and understanding what's come before, and how can we make it better so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
I feel, I don't know, humankind's quite bad at learning that lesson at times.
Yeah.
The people who are mostly impacted are women and children. Yet we often think of men as actually actively prosecuting war.
People who served in the First World War are no longer with us. Go to trips to Belgium, to Menengate, went to a place called Tynecut, largest Commonwealth cemetery. 2 students went to kind of locate their great-grandparents on those war memorials. And the First World War makes a huge impact on medicine and speeds up the development of medical procedures. And obviously war's a wholly negative thing, but there are some pretty amazing positive examples to come out of it.